Welcome, my peace, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peace, my peoples. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 4, All White, Never Forget, Showdown. Boy, wasn't it a showdown, huh? Too bad Phaedra wasn't there because it would have been crazy. And anyways, how come no everybody didn't wear all white? Not even the host. And then let's get to, having all these young guys built, looking good, muscles and everything all around the house when Greg just got out the hospital. You know what I mean? And he's not feeling so well and so great. But now you got these young men that can actually take his woman, but they can't take Nene. They ain't got bread like that. And plus, she ain't trying to mess up her reputation at all. But I'm just saying, I would feel some type of way. You having all these young, sexy guys around. I can barely do anything now because I have a heart murmur, a heart stamp. Having heart palpitations and maybe need a defibrillator or maybe need a stunt in the heart or whatever, and not feeling up to par, but yet you got all these young men rolling around. And anyways, when Greg first got from the hospital, he was like, you don't wore me out, you're so younger than me. So he might be feeling some type of way, but Nene says that he doesn't feel some type of way. He's just happy and he wants to feel useful and he wants to be around helping. So, and he doesn't want to think about him being sick. But I'm just saying, how would Nene feel if the shoe was on the other feet and she was sick and she was older and she had heart problems and there was nothing but a bunch of young women around? So anyways, let's get into it. So let's talk about Sheree. Sheree meets up with her doctor and Dr. Jack Daniels. I think she needs a shot of Jack Daniels. And basically, she's talking about doing this PCA, PAC, or whatever about, domestic violence. And basically, she hasn't talked to her kids yet. The doctor was like, you need to talk to your kids and let them know before you can go and talk about this and speak about it. Talk to your kids about it at first. And he really wants her to talk about it, to release it, because she holds things in, she suppressed things, and that can only make things worse. So basically he just wants her to let it go, let it out, tell your story, tell it to the world. And he also tell her to go to the hotel, get a hotel room by yourself, buy you something nice, buy you something sweet, just spoil yourself. She was like, I ain't got no problem with doing that, doc. You got any money to put on these books? So we get Candy. She's getting ready to go to the Essence magazine shoot. She's going to be on the cover. She's happy. She feels like she's accomplished. This is what she always wanted. Actually having someone to appreciate her, especially on a level as Essence magazine. And, her suitcases are not packed. Don Juan is trying to help her pack. And, she's going to be leaving Ace and her daughter behind. Todd is going with her. And having Carmen not there is really like they don't have a hotel. They don't have their suitcases packed because Carmen and the other assistants will take care of that. But Don Juan can't do too much. So Candy's looking to hire somebody. So Candy's shoot goes fabulous. She looks beautiful. And, people come out and agree her, the director of Essence and some other people. It's in the slideshow. Tell her how good she is and how wonderful she is and all this other good stuff. And appreciate her. And she's going to be in the confidence part because Candy says anything she does, she does it with confidence. And she does her best, even though she cries all the time in tears. But you know what? She still have confidence to get out there and do it and face the public, boy. Whether they like her or love her, she's still going to face the public. She's going to do her job and she's going to do the best at it as she could, no matter if you like her or not. So we get Lauren and we get Portia. They meet up. They have a cousin there that's going to be the mediator. And basically Lauren just tells Portia that, yo, I was having a bad date that day. You can say mind this. She was telling Portia, kept saying my business, my corn, my this, my that. And she said she felt a certain type of way that she didn't have anything to fall back on. She didn't have a nest egg. She's a mother now. She's almost 30 years old. She don't have anything. And she was just feeling some type of way, like if once Portia gets really big, she's gonna hire a team, hire people that are more educated in the realm of developing her money, and she feels like she'll be left out, and she doesn't have any security. The thing about it is she doesn't have any security. She's not married. She's a single mother, and so she was feeling some type of way, and she lashed out at Portia because of that, and then feeling like she's not valued as well. She's not valued as doing all the work and all the effort that she puts into it, because Portia's her only job, her only source of income that I believe that is put on this show. I don't know if she gets money anywhere else. I don't know if her baby father helps her or whatever. So basically, Portia apologized and was like, yo, I'm really sorry. She was like, you know what, I'm sorry if I don't let you feel comfortable to come to me and talk to me. I'm sorry if I intimidate you. I'm sorry sorry if I treat you like my little sister and all this other stuff. So basically, Portia realizing that her sister's kind of like going through some things. She also could be going through postpartum depression and, just not having that security. And then, she probably feels like she's on her coattail, and Portia not making her feel valued or making her feel confident, especially get Lauren into school, you know what I mean? And things like that, and have Lauren do outside help and outside work with somebody else too as well, so she can develop her portfolio. Maybe that would help her out too as well, because she's probably thinking that she's stuck between a rock and a hard plate, and she doesn't want to be latching on to her sister, because she probably feels like her sister's gonna desert her when she gets even bigger or whatever. So Portia just feels like, what, I'm sorry that I didn't make you feel comfortable enough to express how you feel, to talk to me and intimidate you. So now they're gonna work together again, and they hug, you know what I mean? And Lauren is gonna go back to the house. She's gonna move back in with Portia, and probably she needs just probably a little bit of counseling or whatever to help her through what she's going through, because she's not the only person that goes through situations like that. So we get Nene Leakes. She's talking about Portia to her friends. Who's her friend? Her friend Monica. Her friend Monica. I don't know. I forgot her name. Her friend Monica, Moniece. Something with a Mo. And Brandon or whatever, they come to Nene Leakes' house or whatever, and they're getting ready for, Nene Leakes to throw this fabulous party. It's going to be an all-white party. Basically, it's going to be girls and guys, girls and gays, basically the name of the party is. And, one of her, I think her friend, I can't remember her friend name, but she asked about Portia. She was like, is Portia coming? She lives right down the street. I didn't even know Portia lived right down the street from her. And so basically, Nene Leakes was like, don't talk about Portia, because, that girl had the nerve to send me some texts. And the text, she called me angry and all this other stuff, and talking about what the door closed. First of all, if she wants to talk to me, she better, use the right format, the right letters, and not use angry, because, child, I wasn't angry. I don't know. Was you angry, Nene Leakes? You always seem to have the same character, so I can't tell if you was angry. It seemed like you was angry, because you did walk away from her, and you did leave the party before Cynthia cut the birthday cake. But also in hindsight, Cynthia celebrated her 51, 52 birthday over and over, like all month long, and even on a reunion show. So whatever. It seems like it is what it is between them two, and Nene Leakes goes like, Portia had something to do with, Portia was tied up with Phaedra and that drama with Phaedra and Candy, and then once the shit got hot in the kitchen, she ended up throwing Phaedra under the bus. She ain't no friend. And, the girl talking about Portia, that, Candy wanted to drug her and, lick that kitty cat or whatever, and she was like, when it got hot in the kitchen, she threw her under the bus. So you can basically, some people say that is very true, that Portia knew what was going on the whole time, but once they put them to the fan, to put it to the belt at that reunion show, somebody had to come out and say who said it or not. And it seems like, then Phaedra said that yes, she did tell her that, and she heard it from Candy's mouth. But I think if Portia knew from Jump Street or whatever that it came from Candy, whatever, wouldn't she did say that on the reunion show. So it seems like maybe Portia's in the clear with that, or is Portia just naive? Because I think Phaedra would have threw Portia under the bus if it was a plan that they had together. So if not, well, then kudos to Phaedra for not throwing Portia under the bus, I guess, for the first time. So anyways, basically Nene Leakes was like, no, she ain't no friend of mine, and she ain't coming to my party, and that's that. And it's just like Phaedra would have been at this reunion party. Her and Kim would have went at it. So anyways, Nene Leakes is not here for Portia coming to a party. She's not here for the line. She's not here for none of that. And so we get, who do we get? We get, what's her name? Kenya and Sheree. They end up meeting up. They becoming frenemies or whatever, and they're basically doing cycling. Cycling is really hard to do. For me, it was. So anyways, and continue to be hard. So, they're cycling or whatever, and they're basically kind of like getting along, and one is, they're still throwing shade at each other. Other one saying, I'm more in shape. Kenya saying that she's more in shape, and, Sheree was like, I'm more in shape, and it was like, oh, I clearly got the best body. I clearly this. So anyways, they sit down, they talk, and, Kenya asks, Sheree if she wants to speak for domestic violence, this and that, and so, Sheree had to throw shade. It was like, I don't know if I could, because I've been asked by this big old league to speak about domestic violence, a PCA, PSA, I don't know. And she goes, well, I'll make sure there's no conflict of interest, and then I'll get back to you. And Kenya was like, I knew she was gonna do it. I knew she couldn't take my generosity. I know Kenya was like, I wish I would have never asked her, but they got to shoot a scene together. So it's good that they are shooting scenes together, and it's not as petty with them as it used to be. So that's cool. And so now, they're gonna go their separate ways, but we gotta say Sheree hair looks nice. It does really do look nice. And so they're moving on from that. So then we get Cynthia. She goes out on a date with Will. They go get some ice cream. Nene Leakes is calling Cynthia. Cynthia was like, I gotta go. Will was here, blah, blah, blah. So then they go have ice cream. He likes strawberry. I like strawberry too. And Cynthia likes vanilla with caramel or something on it. So anyways, he was like, I wasn't expecting all the phone calls I got. I didn't expect the blogs to blow up. She was like, well, when you dating a celebrity like me that everybody's talking about, it is. Some of the stuff is in the slideshow, but since it's small, you can't really see the letters. So anyways, he was like, when am I gonna come to Lake Bailey? And she was like, well, if things go right and you ain't crazy and you ain't a stalker, then maybe. And he was like, okay. And when he was asking her, when you're gonna invite me, he was licking his lip on that ice cream. He was trying to tell Cynthia, and Cynthia was all nervous. It's so fun to see people that's in puppy love, or like they're really attracted to each other, where you get nervous, you have goosebumps all in your stomach. You'd be like, oh my goodness, it feels good over here on these streets. So anyways, she was like, the blogs are like that. They just, it is what it is. But hopefully you can handle it. So we move on from that. We'll see where that relationship goes. And then, and then we get to Nene Leakes' house, and guess who shows up? None other than Marlo. Marlo shows up. She's looking good in her robe, getting ready. I don't know why they don't give Marlo a peach. They should give her a peach, but they still won't. So anyways, she's there at Nene Leakes' house, and they're talking and they're chilling, and then she ends up asking her about Portia. What's up with you and Portia? She was like, child, she was like, she lives right down the street from you. I heard she got a bigger house than you. And Nene was like, I don't want to hear it. And so how Marlo is, she's gonna say whatever comes to mind. She's gonna say what she needs to say. So basically we find out that Nene and Marlo, they made up, they're cool, so that's good. And so then we get Sheree. Sheree got to be dirty and shady. She got to invite, the Loch Lizard to Nene Leakes' party. So she goes to Kim's house, pick her up. Kim ain't doing nothing but throwing shade at Kenya, talking about, oh, her husband's fake. They ain't really getting married. Then she throws up, oh, I saw Nene park in a handicapped spot and all this other stuff. Just like, her daughter said that there was a roach in Nene's house trying to take pictures, trying to throw up dirt. They got Kim on here just to be shady towards Kenya, because none of the other girls really want to talk about Kenya and her husband, whether he's real or not, whether we see him on the show or not. None of the girls really want to address it. They address it and moving on. But, Kim is here to address that issue. And so Kim is like, oh, so you guys ain't gonna never see the husband. That's what, she says to Sheree. And then Sheree was like, well, I'm inviting you to Nene Leakes' party. It's guys and gays. And, you're my old gay best friend. My even though you're not gay no more. Because remember, we had a whole season of Kim acting like she was a lesbian. So why is she throwing shade at Kenya, whether she's married or not, when she did a whole season pretending like she was in love with the other sex? So miss me with that, Kim. So Kim is throwing shade at Kenya, talking about, I hope she's not, because Sheree says, oh, I think she's trying to have a baby, this and that. I have it up there. TMC recently did a story on Kenya Moore going to see a fertility specialist in another country, whatever, it's supposed to be the best. So anyways, Kim throws out that I hope she's not trying to have baby with them 46, 47-year-old eggs. And then, Sheree has to throw in and say 48. But Sheree also let Kim know that her and Kenya are kind of getting along. They're kind of like frenemies or whatever. And so Kim goes, oh, Kenya is jealous of you because you look better than her. Everybody looks better than you, Kim. So how about that? So then moving on from that, then we get Derek J. Derek J, he shows up. I think, he shows up with somebody. Did he show up with Cynthia? Derek J shows up with somebody, whoever he shows up with. He shows up, and basically he's like, I need to speak to Nene Leakes about her party, because I don't like the way she said, girls and gays. She goes, and he gives an analogy or whatever, saying that, hey, listen, it's just like a white person saying, bring your favorite black person, or your best black friend or whatever. And so I was like, oh, he got a point, whatever. So he addressed Nene on that situation. So, it was good to see Derek J. I haven't seen him in a long time. So it was good to see him. We got to see Lisa Wu and whoever else showed up. I can't remember. So anyways, Derek J, he's there. At least he had on all white, and Cynthia had on all white, and we have Sheree with the dog and the bone on her dress or whatever. So anyways, she shows up to the party with none other than the lock lizard, the scallywag, to the party or whatever. When she shows up with her, Nene Leak is acting fake, like, hey, Kim, hey, girl, hey, Kim, who brought her? And Sheree's just looking, and Kenya was like, yep, I knew it was going to be a setup. Somebody got, this is a setup from producers, and Nene has something to do with it. All these people got something to do with it to have Kim here to know that it's going to go that route. But, Kenya did what she had to do. She stayed or she stuck around. So anyways, Kim's already complaining that it's hot in the house. Like, Kim's acting like her life is so much better than everybody else. Yeah, because you robbed a lot of black women. You stole from a lot of black women. Okay. And then Sheree talking about, she's a matchmaker. She hooked Croy and, Kim up. Too bad you can't hook yourself up, Sheree. Like, goodness, stop trying to give this lady props and yourself props or whatever. So Croy drops Sheree and Kim off to Nene Leak's party or whatever. So they're there chilling at the party, and Kim is throwing her shade like she does, and so they go inside because it's nice and warm in there. And Kim tried to be shady towards Lisa. We'll talk about where's your man at. She knows that she's been divorced for a minute, but she's trying to throw shade or whatever. Like, okay, we're gonna find out some stories about Croy. You wait, sooner or later we're gonna hear about Croy and the news. So anyways, they go inside, they're sitting down, and basically they congratulate Kenya, which was Marlo congratulated Kenya, which she was probably prompt to do that and told to do that as well, because none of the other ladies want to get their hands dirty about her husband, this and that. And it was like, oh, have you guys met him or whatever? And then what's her name, Marlo goes, I know Cynthia, I know you met him. Cynthia was like, no, I just talked to him on the phone. Like, they're so shady. And so then Kim goes, you ain't gonna never meet him because he's not real, he doesn't exist, he's fake, and she's a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of lies. She keeps going on. It's like she has this really, like, she's really bent on going after Kenya Moore, because maybe she thinks Kenya Moore is the weakest or Kenya Moore is the star, but she really has it in for Kenya, and she keeps going in like her husband ain't real, her husband's fake, you ain't never gonna meet him, you ain't never gonna see him. It's so low down, it's so dirty, and it's so wrong. But Kenya was like, you know what, mind your business. What about that surgery? Worry about that box surgery job. Worry about that. Worry about your face. Worry about holding your daughter out for John Legend tickets. Worried about building a WHO double hockey stick out of, your child. Worry about that. And she was like, oh yeah, your storyline's fake, your husband's fake, evidence is fake or whatever. And they just going and back and forth. And Kim is really thinking that she's throwing shots, but she is throwing shots at Kenya. And it just seems like Kenya was like, worry about your life, worry about your business. Her husband's working, he got a job, he's making money. What is Croy doing? I don't know if he's real or not, but I know you have fake storylines. You used Big Papa for a long time and destroyed his marriage on this show. Now you had the lesbian girlfriend. You had a lot of lies going on, like your wig line, going to a hair school. You had a lot of fake storylines, so don't hate on her. Don't hate on Kenya Moore. Ugh. I don't like her. I don't that alley cat. Why Sheree, why you invite that alley cat just to be messy? You invited that alley cat to be messy, and she was messy. So I guess Kim lived up to producer standards, being messy and being low down and raunchy towards Kenya, because Kenya chose not to bring her husband or boyfriend on the show. So it is what it is. Even though a lot of people say a lot of negative things about Kenya, that's cool, but I don't like when it's coming from Kim. Yes, I have double standards because I don't like Kim at all, period. And she can't be calling her names, talking about her eggs and talking about this and that. At least Kenya Moore doesn't have a bad reputation. At least she's not out here. She doesn't have any children, but she ain't trying to whore her children out. And she's not getting her children into plastic surgery and all this other stuff. I don't know if Kenya Moore had a boob job or a butt job. I don't remember, probably on the episode, but her face is looks better than yours, Kim. You need to leave her alone and be happy you do have a husband. Be happy that you are married before all the scandals might come out about yourself. So, you know what? God don't like ugliness. And boy, you are all up there with the ugly. So Sheree with the bone on her shirt, that was just too much. That was too much. It's just like, yo, it's so messed up. She was like, uh, Kim just went there. She went, like, she was told to be that. She was told to be like that. She was told to do that, and she was the only one that I guess is gonna do it. So I guess we're gonna see a lot more of Kim coming at Kenya. Peace. I'm out. One love.